there's something that I guess inside of all of us that makes us want to avoid things that are uncomfortable. One of the uncomfortable things that we try to avoid is our own thoughts and feelings. And there's so much in the modern world that assists us. It helps us to succeed in not paying attention to our thoughts and our feelings. Especially, I feel like young people are particularly susceptible to that. And there are people in the world who that is their mission, to distract them, to take up as much of their attention and focus as they can, whether that's a smartphone or music or whatever that is, through social media and whatnot. And by the time somebody gets to Anasazi, they've successfully been able to avoid those feelings, those difficult or uncomfortable things in their life, which is contrary to the natural progression of how we develop as humans. And so when they come out into the wilderness and they have this space away from all of those distractions, it can be very unsettling. It's very difficult, and I think it's hard to sort of understand. It's hard to estimate how uncomfortable that is when I'm left alone to stand before my own conscience for the first time, maybe in my life, that there's nothing to distract me from my thoughts, from my feelings, from those things that I should have been sort of building up a resilience to and a strength for my whole life. And the trail walkers that are out there, they don't help to distract these young walkers from dealing with their feelings. One of the biggest things that they'll have to distract themselves is by provoking someone else so that they can justify themselves, right? Because that's what they're accustomed to. But I think that gets into a whole different subject. But that idea that young people are so uncomfortable, and that's a good thing, that they'll learn how to listen to their own thoughts, listen to their own feelings. What are those things that will teach me who I need to become? Because that's one of the key things that almost every young walker has difficulty with at Anasazi. A young walker will come into the program and we'll talk about how these people are trying to change me. You're trying to make me change in my life, and I don't want to change. And my response to them every time is that I'm not interested in changing you. I'm not interested in fixing you, because I like who you are and I don't think you're broken, right? Every person in this world has this seed of greatness, this golden core. Through our lives, that core becomes sort of coated with yucky stuff. And the mission that we're on is uncovering that. So instead of us trying to change you, we're actually more interested in you becoming more of who you really are, not less. And in that self-discovery, there's a lot of medicine in that I can discover who I am and be okay with that. One of the ways that we do that, these trail walkers, they basically have two jobs, right? One is safety. Rule number one at Anasazi is don't get dead. And then the second one is that they actively look for the seed of greatness in each one of those and look for ways to honor that seed of greatness. It's a totally different approach than we usually think about in treatment, right? Because the usual model of treatment is find a deficit and just hammer on that deficit until we can make it better, until it goes away. But a strengths-based approach, which is finding that seed of greatness, is different. It's identifying the seed of greatness and the strength in that individual is particular to them, and we honor that. And when we do, it's almost like we open up this space for them. We have high expectations. There's no medicine in low expectations, but there's a lot that can happen when we expect great things from people because we know and can see their greatness. So when that happens, they create this space, and it almost acts like a vacuum. That's almost the irresistible invitation to live up to those great expectations.